are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm a big fan. Oh, I just like froze up there for a minute. I'm a
Oh,
big
thank
fan.
you.
I remember when
Thank
you
you,
first got
Deanna.
on the scene. That's probably dating myself a little bit, but like just super excited for this conversation. I know my audience is, so I've got some questions from them
Great.
for you, but welcome to the show.
And where are you?
I'm in Chicago.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. The Chicagoland area. It's still cold here. The weather is bipolar, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, one of my favorite, Alinea Grant, who's I
Yes.
think a magician of food.
Oh, delicious.
He's a dear friend. Yeah,
I've gone to his restaurant several times. Just it's
yeah,
quite the experience, just like what you give people.
thank you. But he's amazing because he lost his tongue to cancer, so he couldn't even taste, and he wasn't supposed to. Anyway, he became the most creative, magical chef. So he defied all odds to achieve something
Yeah.
impossible. So he is somebody I'm fascinated with.
Very cool. Well, you've been pushing the limits of human potential for decades. And so one of the questions from one of my audience members is what inspired Do Not Attempt, and how is this series different from anything you've done before?
So normally it's the difference with this compared to what I normally do is normally I work for a couple of years on a skill secretly and then I show the end result so it seems like magic. So
Yeah.
this is the opposite in the sense that I'm meeting these incredible people that have put those thousands of hours
Yeah.
into learning something and they have the skill set that seems as close to magic as possible, but I'm basically becoming the audience and I'm the one running away screaming and reacting. And you also see the learning curve of me trying to learn these things that these people have done for years on end and have gone through pain, struggle,
Yeah.
reinvention, injury to create something that I find beautiful.
It's amazing what the human body can do. It's like there are no limits except for what the limits are in your mind. And so I was watching the YouTube clip of the series, and I was trying to log into Hulu to start watching it, but unfortunately I had some meetings come up, and I'm just like blown away by some of the things I saw on the YouTube clip. I was like, oh my gosh. So okay, the next question is you're known for mind-blowing feats and raw endurance. What does the title Do Not Attempt really mean to you?
The title's pretty
Yeah.
straightforward. I was asleep having a nightmare that somebody was going to try to do some of the things on the series, and I woke up and these people that have done these things have spent thousands of hours. The secrets or skills were
Yeah.
passed down for generations. They've gone through the pain and suffering and slowly built up this skill set that looks impossible, but when trying it, the amount of suffering and pain
Yeah.
that they have to go through. So I was like, I don't want any kid to just go about thinking they can do this. So I said the title has to be Do Not Attempt. The
Yeah.
title has to be
Disclaimer.
the disclaimer. Yeah, that was the idea of the title. It was at like 3 a.m. waking up from a nightmare, imagining somebody trying to redo some of these things and that was the title
So
and that
you
was the reason.
visited, sorry, you visited several different countries. So which one was the most impactful for you? Not to give too much away for the series, but maybe a little like teaser so that the audience is like, okay, we definitely got to tune into Disney and Hulu and National Geographic and see this series.
So what is incredible is that it is a travel show where you are exploring places around the world that very few people would go or would have access to.
Yeah.
And it's being led by an incredible group of fascinating people that have worked on these skills that
Yeah.
are very unique that you can't go to school to learn. They've developed them on their own and they're basically giving us a little glimpse into their world. And I'm seeing a side of these performers that I could have never even imagined. And I'm also seeing things that I didn't even know existed. So
Yeah.
I'm seeing places in the world that I had no idea that these places existed. And then I'm seeing skills that they've developed by using their environments and using what they had available and using their bodies as props to defy all odds and create something that's just beyond anything I could have ever imagined.
So you said performers, but really in a lot of these different countries, these are different, like massively different cultures than anything that we have here in the US. So is it that they're performing or they're doing something for their culture or their tribe that they're a part of? You know what I mean?
It's all over the world. It's so in India there was in India we found the this Urs festival where that's part of their religious beliefs and this is why
Okay.
they push themselves. And India was very there's a lot of things that are very extreme. It was even hard for me to watch. And then, you also find a guy named Fire Ramet who drives a rickshaw, and his passion is fire. And I saw videos of him putting his head on fire and doing
Yeah,
all these
I saw that.
incredible things. Yeah, and that's his passion. That's his life. And he has burns everywhere. He has patches of hair missing. He's
Yeah.
put the time in, but he developed an act where he had nothing. He had no fire retardant gels. He had just kerosene and water. And that's it. And he developed the most beautiful fire act I've ever seen. In the Arctic Circle,
Sure.
they have 2/3 of the year. The temperatures keep the lake solid 5 or 4 feet of ice, and they've developed the skill of free diving under the ice, where they're
I saw that
literally,
clip.
yeah, they're
Oh,
dancing and walking upside down where the whole world is reversed. And even though it's sub-zero in the coldest and most harsh environment, when you watch what they're doing, you forget. When you're under that ice and you look at that world, you forget that it's the
yeah.
most extreme, harsh environment. And so when you come out, it's like you're warm, but it's like already sub-zero, but you're warm because you're forgetting everything around you. So like, all over the world, there was Southeast Asia, there was South Africa, Indonesia, and Thailand, of course. There was a guy named Gan who just travels around the world, sorry, around Thailand, and he does this thing where he just surrounds himself with bees. It's called bee bearding. And I never even thought of doing something like that, but when I
Yeah.
watched him do it, I just kept having these dreams of all these bees around me. And he said it is one of the most intense and incredible feelings. And when I finally did it, it's like suddenly you're vibrating in the middle of this swarm
Yeah.
of bees that's all around you. And it's unbelievable. So all over the world, there's been so many incredible people with these unique skills that they've developed on their own. They've advanced on their own. They've improved. They've learned. It was passed down. Some are for religious beliefs. Some are because they just love the animals, the creatures, nature. So there's all different reasons, and it's amazing.
Yeah, no, the clip shows just enough to make you like, whoa, the bee thing, like that takes an immense amount of calm to allow bees to do that to you. And I think that it's more than just like being, um, being like a daredevil or being a performer. It's more about a state where you can get yourself to a place of calm where the bees are going to be okay swarming you and not biting you. So I think that's an incredible skill to have.
That's right. In that episode, Southeast Asia, which I think is a good one to start with, it begins with me just having Conchana puts she's called the Scorpion Queen, and she would lived with thousand scorpions for
Oh,
about a
wow.
month. And she covers me in scorpions. And even when the first one stings me, you have to learn to remain calm. So that was step one to the bees. The
Whoa.
bees, and I did get stung a few times, but when the bees start to sting, you have to remain perfectly calm because you don't want the hive to attack, because then there's too much venom. And then that led to the next phase, which was the obvious, how do you stay calm around a king cobra? So it kind of worked itself out in a pattern. But I'm going to show you something about the bees here. So this is like what you don't see. It didn't make up, but this is each
Oh,
arm from the bee
ah,
stings. It's like that. So
yikes.
yeah,
Oh my God.
and then you had to stay calm. So it was like even though we don't explain it as such, it was like a slow,
Yeah.
methodical, step-by-step
Sure.
process to get to the final phase, which is kissing a king cobra.
Wow, incredible. I know we're like got us wrapping up here. What's one message or feeling you want viewers to walk away with after watching Do Not Attempt?
I think there's a few, but I think one part that I think was amazing, which is what they all do, is that they're all constantly breaking the comfort zone, and they're always trying to improve and be better. And they're so passionate and driven by what they do, or what the meaning is
Yeah.
of just overcoming their bodies with their mind. So I think the other part is also exploring, getting out and going and doing something that you may not normally do, or seeing something, or interacting with somebody that you may not ever interact with, and basically just opening the doors of your mind, just and that never ends, that
Yeah.
process. And it kept me a student, and it kept me exciting. And all these people that I consider masters that we see, they're all students, and they all
Yeah.
consider themselves students because they're constantly learning, they're constantly striving to discover new things, new worlds, new places, new ideas. So
Well,
yeah.
you're the expert of showing us how to break boundaries and that, just what is seems impossible is possible. So thank you for allowing us to imagine and to see that things are truly possible and to step beyond that barrier in our mind. But David, this has been an absolute pleasure. I'm excited to watch the series, and I'm sure my audience is excited to watch it. So can't wait to tune in and see what's next for you.